Yo! Video games.
So let's talk the other big guy, Sony.
So let's talk Sony. What is Sony going to bring to E3? Now, we're going to be, 2 years now from the Dream E3, where it was Shenmue 3, Final Fantasy VII Remake, and Last Guardian.
Yeah.
Now, we didn't really get any updates on any of that shit. Well, Last Guardian was already out, but we didn't, or about to come out, so we did get Last Guardian, I guess, but we didn't get any updates on 7 or Shenmue 3 last year from Sony.
And so what I think, obviously, there's going to be updates on 7, because there's going to be that God of War again.
Mm-hmm. I think definitely God of War since it skipped PSX.
Oh, hell yeah. And God of War's coming out. Isn't it coming out this year in fall?
Mm-hmm. That's a big question. I don't know what's coming out this fall. Let me put it this way. There are 3 big games from Sony that are probably coming. One of these 3, and this is getting into my predictions a bit, but I guarantee one of the 3 between God of War, Spider-Man by Insomniac, or Days Gone, that zombie game.
Oh, fuck yeah, I forgot about Days Gone.
Everyone did. One of those 3 is going to be coming out this fall.
Everyone thought it was a Walking Dead game.
So did I.
Yeah.
Actually.
And then they thought it was a Last of Us game.
Actually, for a second, I thought, Last of Us 2? Nah, this doesn't look that good. It doesn't look good enough for Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
It wasn't like in PSX when they did show Last of Us 2, and the first thing you see is a fucking road sign with a Firefly thing on it. So you go, oh yeah, Last of Us.
So that's my prediction is Last of Us is going to make a big show.
You think Last of Us 2 will be at their show?
I think it's going to be one of their bigger games to show. Yeah. Personally, but I mean I don't know what else, Naughty Dog could show, and Naughty Dog's kind of a big seller for PlayStation, right? And
absolutely.
I don't know necessarily that they'll be like, oh, it's coming this fall. Maybe not, but I think they're going to show something more of it.
So Sony's kind of in a weird position because they still have a lot of stuff that they've announced and not shown or not released.
Well, that's why I think you're going to see more stuff from more completed stuff. Maybe even a demo of Final Fantasy VII. Maybe.
Yeah.
Remake. I mean, I imagine that's going to be A, the first place Max is going to go, and B, the longest goddamn line if it is
Max is going to Marvel Infinite first. Max is going to go to Marvel Infinite and never leave.
You don't think he's going to want to go and check out? Isn't that like one of his favorite fucking games of all time?
Oh! If it's playable?
Yeah.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah, if it's playable, that's what I mean.
Wow, that's a horse of a different color. But yeah, that absolutely, yes.
So there's that. There might be maybe something playable of God of War. Maybe. Because, I mean, it's been a year. It was technically playable last year, I guess, for that small demo.
The guy's on. Someone was playing it that they recorded.
Yeah, basically. So there might be a little bit of something playable for God of War.
I'm thinking, yeah.
Yeah, but otherwise, I don't think there's going to be anything for their VR. I mean, I don't know what there could be unless there's another new horror game.
Okay. This is a prediction I think you and I are going to share, and I think they're going to scale back their VR presence at E3.
Yeah.
It'll be there.
Oh, I think so, but like in that tucked away, here's five VRs, playing our upcoming games.
Here's our fucking closet of VR.
I kind of don't think anything big for VR is going to be announced. I'm wondering if there's going to be a porn booth again this year.
Oh, Naughty America?
Yeah. And if there is, I'm definitely going to do it this year. Last year I didn't do it.
Yeah, you haven't lived until you've seen anal beads pulled out in front of you in VR. That's what happened to me.
Well, I am excited. I hope there's really good earphones on so you can hear the...
Yeah, it's just a big...
gross.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of not sure because last year, I mean, VR was everything. VR. Everywhere was VR. This year, because VR's everything big for VR is out.
Yeah, and they haven't. Now E3 could be the time where they announce new stuff like the second wave, but I don't know.
Without any hinting at all, is this really going to be that big of a shock? I mean,
yeah, that's the thing. It's kind of quiet, not even hinting, of. VR.
Now, granted, E3 used to be the place that the first looks happened, where they had like big announcements.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe they're gonna like have like a real, like, I hesitate to use the phrase zinger.
Well, that's kind of what we're doing here. We're trying to predict any zingers here.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I maybe they'll be like, oh, look at this new. Maybe they'll announce a new IP for VR.
Well, here's my thing, though,
VR only
for Sony. There's so many other big games they need to talk about that having a VR zinger, I don't really know if that'll do it. Where do you go from fucking RE7?
Yeah, are they still going to give a shit about VR? Like, has VR done everything Sony wanted it to do? And
not everything, no. I mean, it's sold well, but not to expectations and not beyond expectations.
Okay.
Certainly, so.
I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe there'll be something from VR. Maybe it'll be a new franchise. Maybe it'll be something that's not an old franchise. Maybe they'll gamble that much on VR. Like a new franchise that looks so fucking cool that everybody will want in, and it'll be VR exclusive.
Now, will they talk about Vita at all?
Yeah. No. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Because last year I didn't really see a lot from Vita.
Yeah.
I think there was like 1 or 2 stations. Maybe.
It's more of a joke for me.
Oh, well, I mean, I think there, but I think I remember there being one or 2 stations.
Vita means life.
Vita means life. I don't really, other than like God of War, I don't know. Do you have any predictions for him?
So here's what I think. I think you're right. I think we're going to see 7 Remake. I think it'll be between 7 Remake and Kingdom Hearts 3. One of the two. Money's more on 7 Remake.
Yeah.
And here's the reason why. Because it's being made by CyberConnect 2, who's proven themselves to be very capable, and they've been able to churn out what, the games they worked on in time. So even though it is still Lord Nomura and his fucking like maelstrom of delays, I would say 7 Remake, considering it's also a part 1 of a series rather than the whole.
Yeah, it's gonna be a serial.
Yeah, I think that that makes it more likely of the two to be at E3 this year.
What was the Kingdom Hearts that was there last year? 2.8?
Yeah, 2.8.
Yeah, they actually called it 2.8. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 2.8.
Mm-hmm.
So this year will be 2.9.
No,
next year will be 3.
Well, the thing is, no, they just released 1.5 plus 2.5 HD. I forget whatever their little slash tag is, because well, they're okay. So
I have questions, but I don't really want to get into it. Like, I'm okay if you like Kingdom Hearts, like if you enjoy it because DJ enjoys it. And,
yeah. Well, 1.5 and 2.5 are just the old games in HD, and 2.5 or 2.8 is the 3DS game in HD plus a demo or a prologue, Metal Gear Solid Ground Zero styles 2 Part 3. That's what 2.8 was.
Okay, that makes more sense.
And then they ported 1.5 and 2.5 to PS4 from PS3 in March or whatever the fuck. But I don't think 3 will be there. I think 3 will be later in the year. But I think 7 of the 2. I think 7 will be there. I don't know if it'll be E3. They might do it at E3 just because that's where it started. But I'm iffy on Shenmue 3 making an appearance there. I would like to, and like I said, the only reason Shenmue 3 would make any sort of appearance at E3 is because it started at E3, like the Kickstarter announcement started on stage. That I think definitely we're going to see God of War. I think we're definitely going to see Insomniac Spider-Man.
You think God of War is going to be playable?
I do, actually. Here's how I think it's all gonna shake out. Their big playable games will be God of War and Spider-Man. Days Gone may or may not be playable, but I think it'll be there. Like, they'll talk about it, maybe show something about it. There's some other games that they could have, but we don't fucking know. And that is Dreams, that creepy ass fucking
Yeah, from like forever ago.
Media Molecule.
That was the first thing. That was the first conference we ever streamed.
I don't know if they'll have anything on Wild, because that's been fucking forever.
I forgot about Wild, actually.
Right?
I would kind of like to see something on Wild.
I would like to see something too, but I don't even know if it's even still happening or not. It's hard to really say. And
Fair.
I think we will see a lot of Uncharted Lost Legacy, and I think they're going to.
I forgot about Uncharted Lost Legacy.
I think they're going to hold back on Last of Us 2. My prediction is that we won't really see Last of Us 2. We're just going to see more of Uncharted Lost Legacy, which is an Uncharted game. I know I'm always harsh on Naughty Dog, but Mike, I don't fucking care about Chloe and Nadine. Nadine.
Nadine is badass, though.
I guess.
But so it's a side game. See, I haven't even seen anything.
Well, I think it started as the story DLC for Uncharted 4,
and then grew into its own game.
Grew into its own little side game.
Huh.
I think that's what's happened.
Well, that's kind of cool, I guess.
It is kind of cool. I just don't care about either of those characters. I don't hate them, but like I kind of like. If you were to tell me, hey, what side character would you like to see an Uncharted game based off? I would never
Sully, but
I would never say Chloe and Nadine. I would be Sully, younger Sully, not young Sully, just Sully. Like after he first found Nathan.
They never really explain. They never really explain Chloe too much in the game.
Yeah, I still don't care though.
But like Nadine is the mercenary chick, right?
Yeah, the one.
She's so badass.
Kind of annoyed me in Uncharted 4 because
really, I'm kind of down with a game where she's going to do some badass shit.
Well,
kind of down. I mean, I haven't seen anything on it.
My favorite thing about Nadine was what she did in the end of the game of 4. How they handled her at the end of part 4. I like that. Other than that, I didn't really like her character, and I really hated the fact that it was like. She's really tough, strong, independent woman who you can't hit because that would be bad. Like, something about that just irked me so much. Like, the complete psychopathy of Nathan Drake throughout the game. And then it's like, but then we got this really strong, tough chick. And every time you try to hit her, she'll reverse it and punch you in the face. And then, like, they have that moment where, like, you kind of punch her as you're falling through the... But you don't... You kind of do, you kind of don't.
They don't show it.
They don't really show it. It's more like you're about to punch her and everything, like, just kind of falls to... Like, you fall through the floor. So, I kind of... That thing just bugged me about it, because here's the thing, and people are going to be, like, probably getting on my ass about this, but if you are going to have a strong fighter chick, show her taking a punch and then getting back up from it and then shaking it off.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
To me, strength also comes in the fact that you can
being able to take a hit.
You can take a hit, and then you just come back and be like, what? But the whole thing of like because I know I just have this fucking weird feeling that it's like, yeah, we didn't really want to have a scene where you could beat up Nadine. Like that just wouldn't look good. And it's like, what? Excuse me?
Well, yeah, I mean, isn't Naughty Dog also a little bit known to be preachy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean...
which is why I kind of, like, I'm annoyed. So, I'm not going to... Now, does that have anything to do with my feelings towards Lost Legacy? Not at all. The two things that bug me about Lost Legacy are, again, it's two characters who I never cared about much story-wise in 2 and 4, so... Them being the main characters is like, whatever. And 2, the thing I really hate about Lost Legacy is that it looked like the most polished Ubisoft game ever when they showed it at PSX.
Yeah.
Where, who was it? I think you were Chloe going through somewhere in India, like the war-torn India, and all these soldiers were like, you know, she was sneaking around the areas, and all these soldiers were like doing their soldiery thing.
Doing what soldiers do.
Well, it just it looked like a fucking Ubisoft game, like a Tom Clancy game, but with the level of sheen and polish of a Naughty Dog game.
Okay.
Like, basically, it looked like the most polished Tom Clancy game I'd ever seen, and it's like, I don't want Uncharted to be about third world countries being overrun by PMCs. That is the last fucking thing I want in an Uncharted game. So the fact that I'm going to be playing as possibly the previous owner of a PMC from part 4 and doing these sort of sneak through these war-torn areas around soldiers. No.
No, I don't like that.
I get it. They're going after, I I think some dagger or something based off the Hindu religion, which is like, okay, that's fine, but
and cool.
But can
Pretty
I
cool.
please spend the whole game in a jungle of India or a rainforest of India? You know, going through like overrun temples or something like that. Can we get back to
Can we have some more fucking puzzles, please?
Can we have some can we have some puzzles and being in uncharted territories?
Yeah.
So
I mean,
that's-
I'll agree with that.
That's what irks me about Lost Legacy, which I'm sure lots of people will be very, very upset at me for that. But you know what? If you're excited for the game, go. Don't let my opinions on it sway you. If you think it looks and sounds really awesome, then be excited.
Yeah.
Reason to be excited.
I mean, I'm like I said, I'm down to play as Nadine. She was a badass, but I don't know what they're gonna explore about her character. Is it supposed to be post 4?
Yes.
Oh, okay, so it's not like a
It's
bridge
post
game or
4,
anything.
but not the epilogue. Because you know how 4 has the epilogue.
Yeah,
It's spoilers.
yeah, it's before.
It's after 4.
It's not years later. Yeah,
It's after 4 ends, and then before the epilogue. Which, the epilogue's the epilogue. That should be the last thing, chronologically speaking. That should always be the last thing in the Uncharted series.
Yeah.
Nothing should ever be beyond. I know a lot of people have said, wouldn't it be great if you could play as, the character from the epilogue going on their adventures, when they're grown up? No, shut up.
No, although I would love a Taken-esque game. Uncharted Taken.
No, see, I want a game where you're playing as Sully and you're trying to basically, you get roped through all of your con man scheming, get roped into this fucking crazy adventure, somewhere in a part of the world or in an out of the blue place we haven't seen covered in film very much. I think that would be way more interesting to me. Maybe even something with like the Nazca lines, or something like that.
Okay.
There, or just something crazy like that. I mean, maybe that's kind of been covered, but either way, like Easter Island even, or something crazy,
So we've got Lost Legacy, but you think they're going to do that instead of any Last of Us?
Yeah, I don't think we're going to... My prediction is that we're not really going to
They're going to show it at least, right?
I'm going to say no.
Really? You don't think they'll even show it?
I'm going to say no. They're going to hold it back completely. They're going to go all in on Lost Legacy.
No, they got to show it.
Well, will be interesting to see who gets that one.
Yeah.
I will predict, because...
The Last of Us is one of their most popular games. I mean, neck and neck with Uncharted, isn't it?
Sure, but they're not going to show 2. They're going to show all. They're going to focus on Uncharted, and that's how they're going to word it too. We really want to just focus on Uncharted here. We wanted to make sure that game got the proper attention. Blah, blah, blah. But even though everyone knows it's coming now, but I predict we will see Red Dead Redemption 2 at Sony's press conference and nowhere else.
You think so? Well, it's coming out for everything, isn't it?
Right, but Sony has, we know this, they have announced they're doing some sort of marketing deal. You know how, like, play it on PlayStation. Where,
yeah. Okay.
All the Battlefield commercials always say Xbox at the end, or all the Call of Duty say Xbox or PlayStation, depending on who's paying for the advertising. Sony has announced they're literally going to be paying for exclusive advertising space for Red Dead 2 this fall.
Fuck yeah.
So I'm going to say we're going to see probably just a trailer. I doubt we'll get
Although, how sick would it be if there was something playable?
Yeah, well, it won't be playable. They might do that 10 or 12 minute thing where they show a guy playing the game for a little while.
Okay.
Which Sony does. Which
yeah, I mean, I'll be okay with that.
I don't think that'll happen. I think it'll be just a trailer, and then you'll get a release with a hard release date, and that's that.
See, Rockstar never goes to E3, so you can never get any Rockstar swag.
Right.
Fuckers. I just want one Rockstar t-shirt. That's all I want.
As far as ass pulls for Sony, what would be a Sony ass pull for you that you would love?
Like totally fucking out of nowhere. Would dig it. This is gonna be weird, but I kind of would be down with a new Onimusha. That's
a Capcom game.
That's a Capcom game?
Yeah.
Why do I always think it's a Sony game? Because it's like it was on PS2 or something like that. When it was a really big PS2 game.
Yes, it was.
Why the fuck do I always do that?
They could always money hat one. They could always do a Street Fighter V and pay for a new Onimusha. That's possible.
Yeah, no, but Capcom's been fucking up a lot lately. I mean, MVCI and RE7 notwithstanding or whatever, but
Yeah.
Right? I mean, SF5 was just such a fucking... So, I don't know. I don't know. Let me think about that more. What's your pull it out?
Ass pull for Sony. Ass pull would be probably not... Well, okay, let's say not fucking Naughty Dog, because they obviously don't give a fuck anymore, but even if one of their other companies like Insomniac or Sucker Punch decided they were going to take over and maybe redo, reboot or just sequel or new sequel to Jak and Daxter, but more like Jak and Daxter 1, not so much Jak 2. That would be a great ass pull for me. And okay, even though I didn't play it much, I would like to see a sequel to it. This game called Rogue Galaxy. I would like to see
Rogue Galaxy.
I would like to see a Rogue Galaxy 2. Even more than a Dark Cloud 3. I would like to see a Rogue Galaxy 2. That would be a really great ass pull for me from Sony, is if they, because the idea of Rogue Galaxy was fantastic to me, and if they could go back to that idea and really fucking hit it out of the park with it, I would kind of love that.
I've got an insane ass pull that I don't really care who does it, but I'd like Sony to do it because I'd like it to be on the PS4. I want an old school style new Phantasy Star Online.
Yeah.
I would love that. I mean, I know it's totally out of nowhere. It's never going to fucking happen, but fuck, that'd be awesome.
I like it if they just took Blue Burst from the PC and just put it on like the fucking Switch or something. Oh, we'll get there.
Yeah. For some reason, I'm blanking on Sony exclusive franchises right now.
Well, you have
because I'm kind of down with Last of Us 2, and I would like that to be there, but I think you're probably right about them focusing on Uncharted, since that's kind of what they're known for.
I think we'll hear something about GT something, whether it's GT Sport or GT7. I should just mention that. I predict something from GT will waste time on stage.
Fucking always with the racing.
Excites some of you, but for me, it'll always be a waste of time. GT, that's always the piss break when they bring out the GT.
Gran Turismo. Yeah, didn't last year they had like they had really cool cars last year.
Anytime they bring out people for Gran Turismo or MLB the show, I'm like, piss break time.
But we played MLB last time.
we did play MLB at PSX, and we're just kind of enjoying ourselves. But it's like, I don't really, they're going to make MLB the Show 18 is coming out next year, and there's no fucking surprise.
Oh, you know what I would actually really fucking, I know we talked about this, VR is going to have Farpoint, and I'm hoping that they have more fucking playable demos at fucking E3. And Aspull, I would like it. I kind of would be down if they had a non-VR version.
A Farpoint?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they, because at PSX, I asked someone and they said it's going to be VR only. So,
yeah, well, that's kind of like the point of it.
Yeah, so, I mean, like, I would because I don't want to buy VR for Farpoint, but Farpoint does look interesting.
Oh, just borrow Kenny's. He's not using it for anything else. Or Max's. And Kenny would dispute that fact heavily. He'd be like, I use it. My daughters are always playing it, which I also probably assume is a lie. And I know Max ain't playing his anymore, so.
Yeah, if Farpoint is at E3 and I get to play it, because I did the demo.
I want to say it'll be out by then, or by the time it's about to release.
Is it really? I thought it wasn't until like fall.
I don't know. I honestly haven't been paying attention. I was under the impression that it's about to come out, or it is out, or by the time you're hearing this, it's out.
No shit.
I think.
I mean, I'll Google that in a second when we start your ass pull predictions. But
that was more my ass pull.
My ass pull
was Jak 1 and Rogue Galaxy 2.
Yeah, I'm kind of like.
I think we should add percentage wise. What do you think the percentage wise of a Bloodborne 2?
Oh, fuck no. You really think there's going to be a Bloodborne 2?
I'm asking you, percentage. What percent
that likely, they announce it, or that there'll be something there?
Likely, and like that it's going to be announced. Like, what do you think the percentage of chance of announcement of Bloodborne 2?
For just an announcement, I'll give it 50-50 because it's so popular.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. 50-50. I give 50%. I think there's a 50% chance
of something being there, though. 0.
You mean like on the show floor?
Yeah, there's not going to be.
Not a goddamn thing.
Yeah,
there'll be a sign.
Sorry, that's what I thought you meant.
No, there'll be a sign. There'll be a poster in the booth somewhere, but that's
yeah, maybe posters and shit.
50% chance they'll announce Bloodborne 2 there, though. I feel.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I only say that because I know that's kind of like Max's big thing, and he's gonna lose his shit if they announce that at the press conference, and I'll be kind of hilarious to see the meltdown. But
I mean, Bloodborne
50%.
I think Bloodborne is more interesting than Dark Souls story-wise, just because it's Lovecraftian.
Yeah, fucking absolutely, and it sold really well too.
Yeah, it sold insanely well. Didn't Bloodborne kind of like bring in a shitload of fans to the Souls series because people that weren't interested in Dark Souls?
Yeah, but suddenly when it's a big Sony exclusive, it has that sort of first-party loyal list effect. Plus, it had Canes.
It did have Well, yeah, it had the steampunk.
Yeah, it had that. That was the final thing that sealed the deal for me watching it when I was like saw the day one and someone had the cane and they clanked it and it turned into like this whip thing. I was like, we're buying this game tomorrow.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I don't really like Sony. I don't know. Sony has killed it the last few years, comparatively speaking.
Yeah.
So
even when last year it was good, but it wasn't like mind blowing.
It blew Microsoft and Nintendo out of the water.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was kind of like you were good. It's just man, the other guys sucked.
That's fair. I mean, last year I think the only thing that really truly impressed me at Microsoft was like We Happy Few and shit like that, and that's out now and kind of went completely under the fucking radar.
Yep.
But yeah, there's not. I kind of would like to see more of Shenmue. You know,
I would like to see more of it. Yes.
If there's gonna be like a big all right, I want to see more of Shenmue because I have to be sold hard on that game.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Shenmue, like the other Shenmue, so fucking boring. I don't know why people loved it. Like, I want to know why people loved it.
I think people do like getting sucked into that sort of time and place.
Yeah, where you're just sucked into it and
they like being immersed in that sort of cultural just immersion of it. But for me, it's like I remember when we tried to play Shenmue like a year or two ago on stream, and we were like, "Wow, this game fucking boring."
That's what I'm saying. Like I never understood, but like I know 2 people at least that it's one of their favorite games of all time. Shenmue.
Yeah, it's a polarizing game.
Like what the fuck?